All right, so one of my favorite exercises is going to be posterior ribcage expansion in a seated position with a little bit of band resistance. I'm going to show you the setup first, and then I'm going to show you the added resistance with the band. Now, you can do this with any type of band at home. I personally love a good TheraBand. It's got a nice resistance. This is a green TheraBand, and what I love about it is that it actually has these little loopholes in here. Turn to the side so that you can see me. Now, I'm going to sit in a neutral posture as well, kind of tucking the pelvis under a little bit. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to tuck my pelvis under. So I'm going to bring my belt buckle towards my nose. I'm going to plant my knees against this bench, and this is actually great. You can do it with a regular box where the knees are going to be underneath the box, but I like this because it doesn't allow me to go any further forward, and I'm forcing myself into posterior expansion here with my back. So imagine that you're doing a cat-cow and we're seated. We're going to go from neutral. We're going to tuck under and round the back, relaxing the shoulders down. So I'm not wanting you to pull the shoulders down actively. What I want you to do is just relax the shoulders down into the back and just let them sit, okay? Hands are nice and light. Elbows are at 90 degrees and shoulders are at 90 degrees. Now, we're going to decrease the angle just a little bit by coming onto this bench here. All right, so what I'm going to do is tuck under a bit, and I'm going to let my back expand as I breathe. Take slow breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Remember, diaphragm is going to expand as we breathe in on all sides and contract as we breathe out. So you'll notice pelvic floor comes up, top of the rib cage goes down, and the abdomen creates what we call intra-abdominal pressure. I have one side that does not like to expand as much as the other side. That's going to be the right side of the posterior rib cage. So I'm going to breathe into that side, hold, 2, 1, and relax. In my case, I actually noticed a little bit of neck tension coming up when I breathed into the right side of the posterior rib cage. So if you happen to have a little bit of tension in the neck that comes up, roll the shoulders out a couple of times, relax into the breath, and allow that tension to just dissipate through the body. If we focus on that tension, then it actually can worsen the tension, and it can create some pain sensations in some cases. So we're going to progress into the second step of the exercise, which is taking the resistance band that I told you about. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this around the back. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it around the back here, right over where the scapula are. All right. So about a little bit higher than bra line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my band and I'm going to take one of these loopholes. If you don't have a loophole, then what I want you to do is just grab the band. So I'm going to take one of my loopholes on either side here. If you've got something that is a little slick as far as shirt goes and you're afraid that the band is going to snap, then I would advise you to hook the band underneath the arm. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wrap the band around the underside of the arm. Okay, so I've got the band wrapped around the elbow on both sides so that it will stay secured and not slide up during this exercise. A lot easier when you have more resistance. The further you choke up on the band and the more slack you've got here, the harder this is going to be. And the more input you're going to have into the system. What this is doing is facilitating proprioception, meaning your brain's recognition of where your body is at in space. Love these resistance bands. Sometimes they tend to roll and slide. Okay. At the top of the contraction, I'm really forcing in the air and hold 2, 1, Make sure that your shoulders are not grabbing during this exercise. You'll be able to feel it. If your shoulders start to grab, I want you to actively bring those shoulders out of your ears. If you need to, slide those feet back under. That way we force that pelvic tilt. See, that time the right side started to grab a little bit more. Repeat this for 5 to 10 breath cycles for 2 to 3 sets at max. What I would start with is 1 set, progressing into 2 sets, and then working your way up to more sets as you get further along with this exercise. If you have any trouble or have any pain with this, please let me know. Please reach out and let me know if you have any questions.